Hey guys, how you going? This is BillyEatWorld, and today we're going to take a look at night maps in BF4. You might have heard that in the CTE there's a brand new Siege of Shanghai night map, and it looks like this, as well as a bunch of other night maps, are going to be coming soon to the vanilla game. Now, I should mention that this gameplay is all from only one play session, which I played on a US server this week, and I've got to admit it's really nothing special. I tried a few times to find populated CTE servers to play a few more games, but honestly it's hard enough to find decent vanilla servers on PC, so hopefully you guys still enjoy the gameplay even though it's not as action-packed as usual. But anyway, the CTE is a work in progress, so I'm sure there will be changes made to the night maps before they get added into the final game. I think there are a few things that definitely need to be added though, because although the night map is pretty fun, it's not quite as immersive as night maps are in, say, games like Insurgency. In these clips, I was playing on a full 64-player Conquest server, and normally I would have expected pretty consistent action on this map, but it seemed like the gunfights were a bit more spaced out in the night version. I think one of the reasons for this is the fact that you have a hard time seeing players, and while that might reduce the risk of getting sniped from across the map, the slower pace does get a little tedious. Night vision optics on weapons are one way of seeing enemies a little easier, but because they aren't on all the time, you still tend to miss enemies that you would have seen on a normal map. Night vision goggles would be a good way to get around this, and like an Insurgency, they could be balanced out by giving you a restricted field of view and a weakness to bright lights. This would certainly make flares and flashlights a lot more effective, which at the moment are pretty useless and to be honest could do with a bit of a buff to begin with. The fact is, NVGs are pretty much a standard in any game with night maps, and if the devs aren't already planning on putting them in, I really think they need to seriously consider it. Another thing that I think that would be interesting to see added into BF4 with the night maps is something like infrared smoke grenades to counter night vision scopes. Anyone who's played with these scopes in BF4 would know that they can see straight through smoke, which, like I pointed out in a video a few weeks ago, can make for pretty awesome loadout combinations. In BF4, quite a few armoured vehicles have thermal smoke, which is sort of like what I'm talking about, but my idea would be to add in something like a souped up smoke grenade for infantry players. An easy balance to this would just be to give players one of them instead of three, which would still be worth it considering these grenades would actually work at night. Now, the last change I'd like to see made, like I said before, is a buff to the flashlights, because compared to Insurgency or even BF3, the flashlights in BF4 are pretty useless. On PC, I tend to hipfire a lot in close quarters, but on console, I generally ADS because of aim assist, and if the flashlights were actually effective, I'd almost run with them all the time. In Insurgency, the flashlights are ridiculously bright, and they do a very good job of blinding enemies, which is something that I'd like to see them do in BF4. The only thing they really do now in BF4, especially on the new night map, is give enemies a target to aim at, and if the reward isn't going to be worth the risk, then there really isn't any point having them in the game at all. All in all though, I'm pretty keen for night maps in BF4, but I just hope that they're decent because they do tend to be less popular, even when they're done well in games like Insurgency. I don't think it'll take a lot to tweak the game to make it fit with night maps, because it already feels pretty good in the CTE, but it's just not 100% perfect yet. Also, if you play on PC, especially in Australia, make sure you download the CTE because it's frustrating to not even have one server running to play on. Even if you own Premium on console, you can still download it for PC for free, so you might as well give it a try because there are some pretty neat changes in the CTE that you might want to check out. But anyway guys, that just about wraps up this quick video. I just wanted to give you guys a few of my thoughts on the night map, so feel free to let me know what you think in the comment section below. As always, if you like what you see, please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and if you really like my videos, please consider supporting my channel on Patreon. If you haven't already, please check out all my other Battlefield videos. I've got them all linked in a playlist in the description below, and until next time, see you later and have a good one.